government spokesperson Felix Ofosu Kwakye has strongly defended President Mahama's decision to consult the Council of State on petitions for the Chief Justice's removal. Now, dismissing claims that the move is politically motivated, President John Mahama has begun consultation with the Council of State following 3 separate petitions seeking the Chief Justice's removal. These petitions, submitted by various individuals, have been forwarded to the Council of State as required by Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. Although this step is part of the constitutional process to determine whether there are grounds for impeachment, critics argue that the move is politically driven. However, speaking on Midday News with Mamiesi Nyamiche Thompson, Felix Ofosu Kwakye maintains that the president is simply fulfilling his constitutional duties.
Keen to know which 3 persons made this petition. What does the petition also entail?
Well, the rules do not permit me or anyone else in government at this stage to disclose any details of the petition. It is at the point where a determination is made by the president in consultation with the Council of State that there is basis to set up a committee to look into it, that such detail can emerge. But as of now, I am constrained in terms of my capacity or ability to disclose anything regarding the specificity of the authors or the content of the petitions.
All right. Well, then, let's hear what criteria were used to determine that the petition merited further action, as in giving it to the Council of State to peruse.
First of all, the president does not need to make any form of determination in terms of merit. He is merely a conveyor belt, and it is his duty to consult the Council of State and make a decision as to whether or not to move the process forward. So we are at that stage currently. And when that determination is made, then the next steps will be followed, as clearly indicated in the Constitution.
Well, what is the expected timeline for the Council of State's review, and what are the next procedural steps if they advise proceeding with the petition?
Well, the Council of State will determine the time that they take to move the process forward. So once they bring in the advice, the president will act accordingly.
Right. Well, how does the government ensure that this process does not undermine judicial independence or set a precedent for politically motivated petitions against the judiciary? We already know that some people are already reading political motivations into this particular case.
Yeah, to begin with, the Constitution itself anticipates that public office holders, including the president himself, can become the subject of demands for removal based on perceived or alleged wrongdoing. For that reason, the framers of the Constitution put in place rigorous mechanisms to regulate such a process. It is that process that is being followed. It is not the case that once the petition is slapped in, the president proceeds to remove anybody. In fact, the president does not have the power to do so. The Constitution says that it should go through a process involving a committee of persons who should have capacity to make such a determination, including 2 Supreme Court justices. So it is not an arbitrary process based or motivated by any thinking of the president. It is a process laid down by Ghanaian law, which should be followed insofar as every criteria and every threshold is met. So the issue of political motivation does not even arise, because it is not a determination made by the president. It's a determination made by persons who are clearly indicated by the Constitution.
Well, I'd like to know, even though you said you cannot reveal the contents of the petition nor the people who brought it, I just want to know, is it an issue of stated misconduct or incompetence or what?
I am not able to disclose any detail at this moment. When a determination is made to move the process forward, those details will emerge.
All right. I know that these hearings will be heard in camera, but what steps are being taken to ensure transparency and also to maintain public confidence in both the judiciary and the executive's handling of the matter?
Well, the Constitution was written by persons who were well-meaning. And to the extent that the constitutional provisions are followed, there should be no cause for concern in terms of transparency or the lack of it. All that is happening is that the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, which dictates how such a process should be carried forward, is being adhered to. The MPP is in no position to offer any lectures to government on this matter, given the very things that they did. If they thought that President Akufo-Addo had the power to do what he did, and indeed the Constitution said he had the power to do so, and he did so, and they were happy with it, they applauded him, they supported him. On what basis do they seek to impute any motive beyond wanting to follow the Constitution to the latter in this particular process? So the views he is expressing, in my view, are to be dismissed. The President has received petitions. The President swore an oath before the people of Ghana to abide by the dictates of the Constitution. So if he is required to take a step pursuant to constitutional provisions, he must be allowed to do so.
Now, you recall that Professor Kwakye had earlier petitioned the ex-president Akufo-Addo for the removal of the Chief Justice, citing concerns about judicial accountability. That petition follows the constitutional procedure outlined in Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution, which mandates the president to act upon such request. But what does Article 146 say in the Constitution? It says that a justice of the Superior Court or a chairman of a regional tribunal shall not be removed from office except for stated misbehavior or incompetence or on ground of inability to perform the functions of its office arising from infirmity of body or mind. 2 says that a justice of the Superior Court of Judicature or a chairman of a regional tribunal may only be removed in accordance with the procedures specified in this article. It continues to also provide that if the president receives a petition for the removal of a chief justice of a superior court other than the chief justice or for the removal of the chairman of a regional tribunal, he shall refer the petition to the chief justice, who shall determine whether there is a prima facie case or not. And 4 continues, it says that where the chief justice decides that there is a prima facie case, he shall set up a committee consisting of 3 justices of the superior courts or chairman of the regional tribunals or both, appointed by the Judicial Council, and 2 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers, and who shall be appointed by the Chief Justice on the advice of the Council of State. Now, 5 says that the committee appointed under Clause 4, which we just read, of this article shall investigate the complaints and shall make its recommendations to the Chief Justice, who shall forward them to the President. Now, here is what matters to us. It says that where the petition is for the removal of the Chief Justice, the President shall act in consultation with the Council of State, appoint a committee consisting of 2 justices of the Supreme Court, one of whom shall be appointed chairman by the President, and 3 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers. Continue to say the committee appointed under Clause 6, which is what we've been concerning ourselves with in this development, is that of this article shall inquire into the petition and recommend to the President whether the Chief Justice ought to be removed from office. 8, all proceedings under this article shall be held in camera, and the justice or chairman against whom the petition is made is entitled to be heard in his defense by himself or by a lawyer or other experts of his choice. And the President shall in each case act in accordance with the recommendations of the committee. And finally says that where a petition has been referred to the committee under this article, the President may, in the case of the Chief Justice, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State by warrant signed by him, suspend the Chief Justice. And B says that in the case of any other justice of a superior court or a chairman of a regional tribunal acting in accordance with the advice of the Judicial Council, suspend that justice or that chairman of a regional tribunal, and the President may at any time revoke a suspension under this article. But again, who are the members of the Council of State who are to make the determination of the impeachment? On your screen again, we'll bring you the members that constitute it. It says that it is in a total size of 31 member bodies established under the Article 89 of the 1992 Constitution. And it says that 16 should be elected members. And you recall that we brought you the election of these members during their nomination and even election right here on the election headquarters on the Joy News channel. And a little later as well, it tells us that the president would also appoint 11, which he has already, and also 3 would be high-profile members, and a de facto member, 1, and the total will be 31. But let's bring you the percentage of that 31 members. It says that the president would directly or indirectly have appointed 45% of the members. Let's bring you some notable persons that you may know that are part of the Council of State. It's Edward Joe Ajaho, former Speaker of Parliament between the year 2013 to 2017, and also former MP for Aveno from 1993 to 2013 under the NDC as a party, and he's also former Deputy Speaker between the year of 2009 to 2013. As well, you know about Justice Sophia Okufu, former Chief Justice of Ghana between 2017 to 2019, and as well, Supreme Court Judge between the year 1995 to 2019, and as well, another notable person you may have heard about will be Betty Mould Idrisu, former Minister for Education between 2011 to 2012, and also former Minister for Justice, Attorney General between 2009 to 2011. And finally, Air Marshal Michael Sampson Oje, former Chief of Defense Staff between 2016 to 2017. So those are some notable members that constitutes the Council of State, which you may know that by now the president is consulting to determine a prima facie case, which all of this will be held in camera. We definitely will bring you updates. But